Hi there. Today we're going to be looking at Unit 3, Lesson 12, Keyboard Input. If you're wondering what that means, it is if you guys have ever played a video game on a PC and you've used WASD to control your person or shapes or whatever, that is keyboard input. W would be up or move forward. S would be back or down. A would be left. D is right. And the same thing with the arrow keys. Those move things. So if I press right, then I would go right, and that sort of thing. The code we're going to be looking at is called key down. And then that's going to be sensing and checking. The code will be checking to see if a specific key is down. That key, it's whatever you tell it to. Following the introduction of booleans, which is what we looked at on lesson 11, or conditionals, and if statements in the previous lesson, if statements, students, you are going to be introduced to a new block called the key down, which returns a boolean and can be used in conditional statements to check, to move sprites. So moving sprites, think about that. If I press a key down, something will happen. If I don't press a key down, nothing will happen unless we tell it to happen, which will be in there. You'll see what I'm talking about very soon. So let's continue. All right. So what we have here is prediction down key. So we have function, draw. So in the draw loop, we have draw the background, which is white, have the text center. It's going to be in the center. Text size is 100, and the text is key down space. Okay. You need to predict. I just wrote a T. You need to predict what you think is going to happen. So key down space. All right. So you predict what's going to happen, and then you can run it as you like. I'm going to move on, but that's what you do there. Okay, keyboard input. So right now, I have to reset mine. Okay, so here's how we run it. What happens? There's a giraffe. Okay, let's take a look. Sprite.set animation, giraffe. Run the code and try pressing the P and H keys. P, H. Oh, look at that. If I press P and H, it turns into a pig and a hippo. Look inside the if statements to see how the code works. So, interesting. Function, background white. If key down H, sprite animation, make it a hippo. Oh, I wonder what's here. Look at that. We have the choice of all these because in the animation, we have all of these choices for the animation. Okay. We have 4 choices we can use. So if it's H, it turns to hippo. If we press the P, it turns to pig. If key down R, well, let's follow this pattern. Giraffe is nothing. Add a block inside the third if statement to change the animation to a different animal. Well, if our choices are hippo, pig, giraffe, and rabbit, R is rabbit. So you're going to grab a new one. I'm going to lasso this, press Control C. I'm going to press down and press Control V. Okay, and then I'm going to change this to a rabbit. So now reset, run, press R, and look what happens. Now the challenge is when you use set animation, it keeps the new animation until you change it again. Can you change the code so that the sprite will automatically go back to giraffe when you're not holding down one of the keys? I don't know how you do that. Well, we know that when we run it, it starts with giraffe. And if these If any of these if statements are true, like I press H, it changed to hippo. If P changes to pig and R to rabbit, how do we make sure that in this straw loop, it automatically, if nothing is being pressed, it changes back to a giraffe? You figure that out. Keyboard input. Run it. Okay, this is a ladybug. Okay, your job, add an if statement inside the draw loop, check whether the right arrow key has been pressed down. Okay, add code inside the conditional to move the sprite right if the right arrow is down. Okay, things to think about. Do you need to change the sprite's X or Y property to move it right? Now remember, right is follow the cursor. Right is going this way. How are you going to change that? What are you going to do? Okay, I'm not going to show you what I did because I don't want to give you away the answer. Once you make that change, though, you're going to need to do this later. Okay, you're going to, so right now, I have this ladybug. It rotates just as long, so if I push right arrow, it turns right and it moves right. If I turn left, it turns left and moves left. If I press down, it turns left and moves left. And same with up. You're going to be doing that later, but right now, all you have to do, just focus on making this little ladybug move right. That's what you got to do. How are you going to do that? Changing the X or the Y? Number 5. Okay, run it. So right now, add an if statement to check if the left arrow key is pressed down. Then move the commands for moving the fish inside the if statement. That's all you got to do. Put in an if statement, have it check for the left arrow key right here, key down left, and then move the command. So here's what yours will do. I'm pushing left and look at the fish are moving. Press reset, run. Press right. If I push left, my fish move left. That's what you're going to be making yours do. Keyboard input, run it. So right now your wheels will be turning. Your gears are grinding. Okay. Mine, because I made the change, I added an if statement. I used the key down. Check when the space key is pressed. Right here. Key down. Which key would it be? Right, left, A, B, space. Who knows? Ooh. Move the code that makes the gears rotate inside the if statement. Okay, all you gotta do is move the code that makes them rotate. So right now, I push right, I push space, and they start moving. I let go of space, they stop. Space, no space. Space, no space. All right, now look. Next one is a purple. Got a purple, and it's got a check mark. This is basically an assessment. Okay. Here's that ladybug. Okay, yours is just moving right. Now you're going to make it move left, up, down, and it's going to rotate in those directions as well. Okay, just add 3 if statements, 1 for each row, or 1 for each arrow. Add 3. There's already 1. Don't forget to include a comment for each statement. If each statement should move the sprite in the direction of the arrow. Okay? Don't forget to do that. Add 3 statements. Each if statement should move the sprite in the direction of the arrow. Right, left, down, up. Okay? And hint, make sure you consider both the X or Y of movement and whether you need to increase or decrease the value. All right. Okay. So all you had to do was make sure on that last one that the ladybug is moving left, right, up, and down. Okay. Now, this is instructions, number 8, instructions on how to copy, flip, and rotate. Okay. Read this in your code.org unit, in your own. It says use the copy, use the flip, use the rotate, and that's how you're going to get number 9, keyboard input. Okay, that's how you're going to get all this. Look at this. Ladybug, this is going to the one that moves right. Here's the one that moves left. Here's the one that moves up, and here's the one that moves down. I did that by copying, flipping, and rotating. Okay? It's a good skill to have. So try it. Watch this. If I do click on that, and now I duplicate. Look at that. And now I rotate. I flip. I can even make it grow. But I'm going to trash it. So I have my ladybug right, left, up, and down. And that's how I do that. I'm going to put that in. And now look, run, ladybug right, press left and it flips, press down, it flips, and press up, it flips. Then I'm going to submit that because I'm going to be checking that. And we move on to lesson 13. Okay, so that's lesson 12, keyboard input. Be sure to study this. Be sure to look back at this video as you need help. And remember, you can also look back at some of the other parts of the lesson so that you know, oh, look, here's how I do that. All right. So that's how it all goes down. Here's the hippo one. Look at that. H, R, P. Okay. And remember, the challenge is, can you make it automatically turn to a giraffe? Can you do that? Here's the giraffe one right here. Control C. Press down. Control V. Let's test this. All right. R. That. So now you know. Good thing I waited till the end of the lesson, huh? Okay, it's all by itself. It's not in an if statement. It just rabbit, pig, hippo, but it always goes back to giraffe. Anyway, enjoy keyboard input. This is going to add a new dimension to your game, and probably almost as much as variables did. Keyboard input, lesson 12. Enjoy, and don't forget to stop by and ask for help in the office hours if you need. Take care.